it is V, the rock and roll mystic, popping in for day 8 of the 12 days of Yule, hosted by Ivy, the occultist. An 8th day in a row. I guess I'm doing pretty well. Today's prompt is to talk about the spirits that you work with in winter. I think I need to come at this from a different perspective, mainly because since this is my first Yule, I don't have any spirits specific to the winter. I don't have any spirits specific to Yule that I work with. I don't really work with spirits. At least not yet. I'm sure that'll come as I, tap into this world a little bit more. But I wanted to talk about the entities, collectives that I do work with. And now some of this may come off a little bit weird. This is my own personal gnosis. I kind of work from that almost everywhere, or everything I do. I let my intuition and my own personal guides lead me. And the one thing that I have come to know within my own practice is deities don't want to be worshipped. I know that sounds really weird, but I guess here, you know what? I'm going to ramble a little bit until again, till my guides kick in and start helping. But just to give you a little overview of the people and collectives that I work with on a regular basis. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that one of the main collectives that I work with are the spiders. Specifically in this world, in their physical form, the yellow sac spider. All the other spiders, they're just cohabitational spiders. They just live in my house like every other person, and they are there. Sometimes they might pop in if I need to be reminded about something, but for the most part, it is the yellow sac, which is very interesting. And the other really interesting part about it is it's always the male yellow sacs. Yeah, very specific. So I don't really know what that's about. They haven't told me. And because I'm not clairaudient, I don't hear any messages. I end up having to kind of sit with it, process it, and then somehow it turns into a knowing. But yeah, that is probably the main collective that I work with. They chose me. I don't know why. Well, I guess I do kind of know why. I believe in a past life beyond the earthly plane, in the galactics. I worked with them. I don't know whether it was during the Spider Wars or I'm not sure, but it is galactic connection. And I worked with them. I wasn't one of them, but I worked with them and I was an ally. And so they have chosen to be an ally in this world. This is how I've come to know it as of yet. I'm sure more things will come as I've been working with them, as I work with them more and more and more. And they typically mostly come out when I need to be reminded to move through my life with intention and purpose and mission instead of just going about my life unconsciously. That's the only pattern I've been able to find. And I will tell you, for those of you, and I am an arachnophobe. I need to make that clear. I am an arachnophobe. Spiders have brought me to tears throughout my life. I am very scared of them. And if they trap me, all bets are off. Yeah, I get trapped by spiders. But so this is not me having a love of spiders and then, interpreting something with them and, bringing them into my life happily. I do not bring them into my life happily, but it has gotten to the point where when they come in, I I I acknowledge them and I talk to them, and we have house rules. And spiders, they may be bold as heck when they need to get your attention, and they'll literally be in your face. And I mean literally in your face. I will walk out of the bathroom and they'll be hanging in front of my face, literally in my face. But when you are acknowledging them, they actually are really respective of your space. They're respective of your personal spaces, as long as you acknowledge and you are working with them. That is my main spirit or main collective that I work with. I also work with any entity, angel, anyone that comes in and wants to give me advice. I'm not, even though I was raised Christian, I don't believe in demons as they are described in the Christian. I believe they're just a galactic collective that works and makes contracts with people. One of these days I'll get into this really long, weird world of mine, but there have been many people who have stepped in to help. And like I said, I don't worship. I don't think they want to be worshiped. Just to give a little bit of an example, Master Yeshua does not like to be worshiped. He appreciates the admiration. He appreciates everything, and he appreciates people looking to him as an example. That's what he appreciates. That's what he that's what gives him joy. The worship thing, if somebody demands to be worshiped, I'm not going to work with them. That's just who I am. I don't go out and seek deities and gods and goddesses and collectives and stuff like that to work with. I don't do that. If they want to work with me, they will let me know. And that has been my journey so far. When I need a little bit of help, Metatron will step in and give me a little bit of advice. Master Yeshua will step in and give me some advice. I think I even had one of the fairy kings step in and give me advice just recently, and that was interesting because I've never worked with the fae. But I'm happy. I'm grateful. I am extremely honored, and I'm very humble that these entities, these beings, these collectives, they step in and they want to help me. That when I am doing the things that I believe that I need to do, I get support, and that's what I like. So instead of worship, instead of the working with, I guess I do work with them, but I consider it more of a partnership. I lean on them when they want me to lean on them. I show gratitude to them once they've stepped in and once they've got, I will, I guess there's a devotion there. I mean, I know semantics. I'm a big word person. And I don't know if these words are actually what I'm trying to portray. But because I'm not devoted to them, but I show devotion. I show gratitude. I show humility when they come in to partner with me. And that's been a really incredible blessing in my life, to be able to be humble enough and to be open enough and to be accepting enough when these beings and these angels and these collectives and these energies come in to offer me support. That to me is, I don't know, that's confirmation that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in my particular mission on this planet. That being said, I guess if I want to go one step further with the working with and the partnering with, I would say probably the main spirit outside of the spiders that I work with on a daily basis. Oh, my spiders, when I get the message, they will go away for months and months and months, and then they'll come back. One just popped into my shower the other day, and so I just pulled a card to see what he wanted to share with me. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll start doing this from now on. But outside of that, this particular spirit I work with every single day without fail. And that is my poinsettia. Now, if you watched my last video, I showed you how my poinsettia has been thriving, and it's in my house and whatever. And I am a cat person. And so I always have cats. Now, poinsettias are known to be toxic. Just so everybody knows, they won't kill your cat, but they will make them sick. And my Maisie, when she was a kitten, she took a taste of a leaf and was sick for like 3 days and was throwing up or whatever. But then it passed and she was fine. She never touched the plant ever again. So in order to prevent that from happening again, I have had daily communications with my poinsettia, and we have this I've been helping her fill in the middle because she was very kind of wild and most of her leaves were on the outside of her branches, and so I've been working to help her balance her weight by helping her bring more into the middle of the plant, and that's been successful. But on top of that, now poinsettias will drop their leaves on just any whim. They just drop their leaves. And what I have found over the years of taking care of my my plant is I have to give them a little bit of water every day. I don't saturate them, just give them a little bit of water every day, and that helps them to maintain their leaves. But I've also been talking to the plant and saying, okay, when we bring a cat into this house, we have to work together and we can't be dropping leaves because we want to make sure that the cat's safe, and it's up to you to help me protect my cat and blah, 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 like having conversations like that. And every day I go and look at the plant and see if there's any leaves that are getting to the point where they're going to fall and whatever. And I just went to them to today, and there are all of her leaves are beautiful. Now, how long it's gonna last, I don't know. Like I said, they drop leaves on a whim. But we've been working together to help keep my new cat safe. And that is a transition that I want to take, that I actually, like I said, I don't work with gods or goddesses, but recently, with all of this grief that I had with the death of Maisie, and the anger and all of that, I was kind of stuck. I was, both of ADHD paralysis, and I was angry, and I was just frustrated. In all of my life, every cat that I've ever taken in and taken care of has chosen me. And I've had many, many cats in my life, and they all chose me. And at this point in time, Maisie and Frankie chose me, but then they were gone. And everybody kept saying, well, why don't you go to the rescue and get yourself a cat? My husband was talking about going to a rescue, getting a cat. And I had a real problem with going to a rescue and having to choose from a sea of needy cats. Like, I just could not see myself doing that because I want to take them all home. And so I was stuck. I was just stuck. And I went months and months and months, the longest I've ever gone in my entire life without a cat. And, I had a couple people talking to me. My husband was talking to me, and he was telling me that you need to be a mom. You need to be a mom. You are stuck and you need to be a mom. And I started to resign myself to, like, okay, fine. And then I was talking to my best friend, and we were just eating, just talking about, what my plans were, cat, and Bastet popped in out of nowhere. Like, neither one of us have ever worked with her, but she stepped in and she started asking questions about what type of cat I wanted and what was I looking for. And and I told her, I gave her all of the answers, at least I could answer to the best of my knowledge at that time. And she went off to started working on it. And let me tell you, it was no more than a week and a half that one of the cats that had been wandering my yard for a couple months at least came to my property and was injured. She had a paw that was severely infected. She had osteomyelitis. And my husband saw her first, and we started getting concerned because, oh my gosh, this cat, we don't know who owned her, and so we tried to start gaining the cat's trust to, hopefully get her to bring her to the vet. And let me just tell you here, this has never happened before. I've tried to help, stray cats and feral cats and do TNR and stuff like that. I've never had an experience like this. We started trying to gain this cat's trust probably middle of the afternoon on a Sunday. We brought out some wet food, and we were, trying to make sure that she ate, and she was like 100% like accepting of this. She was a little bit skittish for like 10 minutes, and then she started to eat. And the next day was going to be really cold, and we were really worried. So I went out. I tried to leave the front door open with food to see if she would go in by herself. And then I tried to sneak around the back of the house to get her. And that kind of scared her. She came back down the stairs, or hobbled down the stairs. And then I just sat there on the sidewalk with food and just tried to, get her used to my energy. And she was really, really sweet. And she was, she was really injured. I mean, she couldn't even put the slightest amount of weight on her little paw. And literally, and that was Sunday night. She started rolling around on the sidewalk, and I was petting her, and she was being really, really, really sweet. And I said, you know what? It's going to be cold. I'm going to do this now. I literally scooped her up and carried her up my stairs and brought her on the front porch. It was the easiest thing I've ever had to do. And that, a few hours later, she was at the vet. We were getting her looked at. She was on medicine. We were doing what we needed to do. And then, my husband and I were trying to see if anybody had, reported their cat lost, reported anything. The vet we went to a local vet, and no signs of anything. And so we decided, okay, well, if this cat has an owner, it'll show up. But we're just going to make sure that she's taken care of. And that's what we did. And she was living on our front porch for a little bit. And Bastet came in again and basically said she sent the cat for us to help. I mean, it was the weirdest thing, but it was so incredible that here I am not wanting to go out and choose a cat and talking to my friend, and Bastet steps in and says, okay, what do you want? And then a week later, I have a cat that was abandoned, tossed out, and she's a beautiful cat. And we named her Abby. Her real name is Abina, and Abina is Ethiopian for came when asked for, and I've had Abby ever since, and it's been amazing. Her foot is fully healed now. She went into heat, so we know she's not pregnant. She's got an appointment to get spayed at the end of January because I wanted to wait 6 weeks from the time for her heat, and she's been perfect for us. And so that's kind of how I work with spirit entity angels collectives. Like I said, I don't really work with spirits per se. I have my sister who talks to me on a daily basis and has helped guide me, but she's my sister. I mean, I know she's not on this plane anymore, but I don't consider her a spirit because she doesn't live around me. She just talks to me. So it's almost like this omnipresent kind of thing because she talks to my mom and she's around my other family members. So I don't know if that would be, consistent with the actual definition of spirit. Yeah, I guess she's a spirit. I mean, logically, yeah, she's no longer on this plane, but she's not with me all the time. And and I don't like, she'll pop in and we'll have conversations with my friend and I, but I don't sense her spirit in my space. It's just, like I said, it's an omnipresence. She talks to me from wherever she is, and it's not necessarily in my house. So I'm not sure how that would be defined. But yeah, that's kind of my my day 8 of who do I work with. Again, none of it is specific to winter or Yule. I would think the closest would be my poinsettia because I received her in December in 2017. But and of course poinsettias are indicative of the holiday season. So yeah, I guess I think that would be the closest winter spirit that I work with, even though she is around all the time and she lives with me and we talk daily. Yeah, so I think that's it. That's my day 8. I hope that was understandable. I hope that came out clear enough. I was using my crystal to help me speak clearly. But yeah, so thank you again for watching. And if you have anything that you want to share about who you work with, and if you worked with any of the people that I've worked with, let me know. It's interesting to see how different people work with different spirits. And again, like I said, I don't seek out these people to talk with. They are just coming in to support me, and it like I said, it really makes me humble, and um it gives me confidence that I know I'm being looked out for and supported on my journey, and I appreciate them. So I am very much in a devotional state, like a thank you, like a gratitude state, when these people come in and speak with me. And so yeah, that's it. Even my spiders, I'm grateful for my spiders, even though they scare the pants off of me. Yeah, I don't like showering with spiders. I don't like sleeping with spiders. I don't like any of that stuff. But I'm grateful that they come in and that they're trying to be helpful. Their mission is a noble mission. It is not one of fear. It is not one where they want to cause me stress. They want to help me as a repayment for me helping them when they need it. So that that's my story. I'm going to stick to it. So I will see you all tomorrow for day 9, and have a great day, everybody.